The high-stakes hush money trial against Donald Trump is taking a breather today, but the lawyers on the case are working at a fever pitch. Both sides are preparing for Trump's longtime friend and the ex-publisher of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, to get back on the stand tomorrow. And when he does, we could get his account of how the story of Trump's alleged affair with Stormy Daniels was kept quiet. Joining us now is MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin. Charles Coleman, former Brooklyn, New York prosecutor and MSNBC legal analyst and host of the Charles Coleman podcast, is with us as well. Lisa, what goes on behind the scenes? So this is maybe not usual, but every Wednesday the judge has said he hopes to be down, which kind of gets them an opportunity to reset. What do you do with that time?
You prepare for your next examinations and you read the transcript exhaustively. You think about, if you're the prosecutors, you think about not only what ground you haven't covered yet, but to what extent you want to double back and, without asking cumulative questions, seek some clarification on things that might not have come out as cleanly as you want them to. If you're the defense, conversely, you're reading that transcript and already planning your cross, some of which you might have to write on the fly. So if you're a defense lawyer, you have a cross-examination outline ready, anticipating the lines of questioning that the prosecutors are going to ask. But having a day off from trial is golden, because you can read the transcripts and tweak that outline and perfect it and quote to things that that witness actually said as you're anticipating your cross.
Can you make up for? There are people who are great on the fly, right? And a great lawyer, a truly great lawyer, can respond in cross-examination to something they say, can remember exactly what maybe they said during their direct, can put it into context on the fly. But can you make up for it with preparation?
You can make up for some of it with preparation. But of course, we also know David Pecker is going to be on the stand tomorrow. And given where we are chronologically and what he has to offer, I would anticipate David Pecker will be on the stand in his direct examination for the bulk of the day, if not the entirety of the day. So think about it this way. If I am the defense right now, yes, I have some time to prepare right now with respect to what he's already said. But the rest of it, some of it is going to have to be tweaked as you go. And also, teamwork makes up for each individual person's, perhaps, some people are differently nimble on the fly, but teamwork counts in that instant. You want if you're the person taking that cross, you want to have team members who are really acutely listening to the things that you need to elicit during that cross to get your defense points out.
Charles, already yesterday was intense. It was also, though, I think you can make the argument, a tabloid day, right? We learned a lot about catch and kill, how that works. And that was, frankly, fodder for jokes, including this one, a joke maybe, from Senator Mitt Romney. Take a listen.
I think everybody has made their own assessment of President Trump's character. And so far as I know, you don't pay someone $130,000 not to have sex with you.
So how much of a challenge, Charles, is it for the prosecution to take what was sometimes salacious, often riveting storylines and move them into an area of criminal behavior when questioning resumes?
Well, Chris, for as much comically minimal ego stroking that we did not hear from David Pecker yesterday around Donald Trump, I think that what he did do for the prosecution was lay out very clearly for them and for the jury what this case is about and provide them a framework to begin telling a story. Ultimately, you don't want to necessarily worry about the salacious details becoming too much of a focus, because if you tell the story correctly, you'll have them placed in such a way that the jury's not thinking about them once you get to the legal elements of the crime. And I think that's how the story is being told by the prosecution and its witnesses. By the time we start talking about the documents and where they're placed, you won't be focused on the actual salacious nature of Donald Trump having an extramarital affair or this catch and kill scheme necessarily, but those will be background matters that the jury has become acquainted with that will place everything into context. So that's how you keep the balance between these details becoming taking center stage, as opposed to becoming a distraction that ultimately could detract from your case if you're the prosecution.
We've only got a minute left, Charles, but Donald Trump on his Truth Social today again railed against the gag order, and we're still waiting for Judge Merchan to rule if he'll be held in contempt for alleged violations. I think now there are 11, correct me if I'm wrong on that, that are alleged by the prosecution. Let me ask you the question that a lot of lawyers have raised. What's he waiting for? Why this delay?
Well, I think that Judge Merchan was originally allowing the prosecution to present some additional examples of where they felt like Donald Trump had violated the gag order. And in that time, he has done exactly what many of us expected him to do, which was continue to violate the gag order. For our audience members who are watching, the question, I don't think at this point, is whether Judge Merchan will find that he's violated the gag order or that he should be held in contempt. The question is, what does that actually look like? Is it a fine? How much? Is a threat of jail going to come? Or is Judge Merchan going to outline a plan for future responses to Donald Trump if and when this behavior continues?
It's going to be another day tomorrow, folks. Another day. Charles Coleman, Lisa Rubin, thank you both, and I'll see you soon.